Welcome back to George and Willy's World, boys and girls, and I'm sure glad you came to visit us for another week. Today, just Willy and myself are here. Mrs. Kranz and George are still in Australia, and Australia is another country in our world, and need to get the world on right. Here's Australia down here in the lower part of the world, and we are over here. So there's quite a span with a Pacific Ocean between us. That is, I know, a 20-hour flight on an airplane. That's a long trip, so I cannot wait for Mrs. Krantz to come back to share all of her activities and things that she's learned. She's there and visiting her family, just like I know you are visiting your family this summer. So today we are going to be talking. You probably see that I have all different kinds of things on, and we're going to be talking about pretending. I love to pretend, and even today I pretend to do things in my own home. When I was growing up, I loved to pretend all the time. I used to pretend to take care of people. I used to pretend to be a hairdresser and fix my mom's hair. Maybe some of you girls at home might be doing that right now. I also pretended to be a zookeeper with my lions, and I was a trainer of the lions, and all kinds of different things. And that's what makes growing up fun, is to be able to pretend. Some people enjoy pretending so much when they're young that when they grow up, they want to continue to pretend, and that would be called acting. And that might be something you want to grow up and do. And there's all kinds of different acting. You can act in a little community theater, or maybe you might act on the big movie screen or television. Lots of different things. And that all comes from pretending. You can also pretend you're not just dressing up, but you can pretend feelings. Like happy, how would you be when you're happy? You'd have a smile. Sad, and your shoulders would probably go down if you were sad. Silly or mad, and all of those are still pretending or acting. Today we have a very special guest, and his name is Mr. O'Connor. Hello, Mr. O'Connor. I'm glad you're here with us today.
Delighted to be here.
And Mr. O'Connor is not only an actor, but also a director. And I would like for you to explain to the boys and girls at home the difference, what is an actor and a director, and maybe the difference between the two. What is an actor?
Well, an actor makes up a character, a part in a story, certain character, and he decides, or she decides, to be that character, and she memorizes all the lines that are written, and then she, as much as she or he can, they pretend to be that person or that animal or whatever it may be.
Animal, that's right. They can pretend to be animals or a duck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A horse.
And what might a director do?
A director can arrange the cameras, can help with a concept that the story has, a view of the story, and he can present that to the actor and show so that the actor can get a whole idea of what the whole story is and what the character, the actor is playing in the story. And the director takes care of cameras and angles and close-ups to bring the story much more fully and much more dramatically to the audience that's watching on their television sets.
And boys and girls at home, you're the audience right now. And yes, I'm the audience listening to Mr. O'Connor. Yeah. So what got you interested in acting? Because the boys and girls at home, I bet you there are some boys and girls at home that might want to grow up and or are very good at it now.
Yes.
What got you to want to continue pretending in front of an audience?
Well, I wanted to do it because I felt I could do it, although I didn't do it at all for years when I was very young. And when I was just 6 or 7 or 8, 10, 12, 13, and 14, and 15, I didn't. But what I liked was watching other people do it. And I very, very much. And I used to go to lots and lots of movies, but I never knew why I did that. But then when I was in the United States Navy in the service for a while, I realized that maybe I could actually do it. That I could. So after I got out, I went to a school. It was actually a radio school where they taught you engineering and announcing and acting, radio acting. And this is really a little bit before television. And then I went to a dramatic school, and they began to teach me how to act. And then I began to work.
Wow, what are some of the things that you have done? Just off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite parts that you enjoyed playing, acting?
Well, I did a part, maybe people in the audience, mamas would know in the audience, of a series called Peyton Place. And I played a character named Elliot Carson on that. And I don't remember doing any children's shows at all, I'm afraid. I guess I would have if I got in the business when I was much younger.
Yes.
And that's quite possible to do.
Wow.
If you're younger, it's quite possible. Like your audience.
Yes.
And the boys and girls in the audience. You know, there are always plays that need
yes.
boys and girls. So if you like it, try it. You might really like it.
And they have many opportunities in school, because many times in all the grade levels they have performances. Sometimes the performances are just in the class, and sometimes the performances are for the entire school. And so there are many times throughout their grade school and schooling each year you can be in performances. And when you get into higher grades, I know in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade they can start performing in a drama class, and then in high school, and so they can enjoy their acting career young if they would like to also. So how exciting.
Yeah. I had a children's theater here once.
Did you?
Yes. And most of the boys and girls in it were about 7, 8, and 9 years old that played in it for about 2 years. It was called the Children's Theater of Nevada County. Yeah.
Wow.
We ran for 2
And
years.
you're going to be reading 2 stories for us.
Yes.
One is a story about feelings, and the other one of my favorite, is about a little boy with a purple crayon who enjoys make-believing and drawing with that purple crayon. So I would love, boys and girls at home, are you ready to listen to Mr. O'Connor read? I am. Willie, are you ready? Willie already looks like he's resting, so.
Yeah. Silly. Silly is the way I feel when I make a funny face and wear a goofy poofy hat that takes up lots of space. Silly. Scared. I'm shaking because I'm scared. All alone in the dark at night, the thunder and lightning crash and roar. Hold me close and turn on the light. Scared. Disappointed. The plans were made so long ago for you to visit me today, but now you can't come after all. I'm disappointed we can't play. Disappointed. Happy. The smile you see upon my face as the sun shines in the sky shows the world that I feel happy and my mood is soaring high. Happy. Sad. Sometimes I feel so very sad and really don't know why. Instead of playing and having fun, I cry and cry and cry. Angry. Angry is how I feel right now. I shout with a mighty roar. I really mostly frown and growl and stomp my feet upon the floor. Angry. Thankful. The wheel fell off my brand new truck and I needed some help from you. And you kindly fixed my favorite toy. I'm thankful for all you do. Thankful. Frustrated. I'm frustrated because I can't do it. It's hard and I want to cry. I don't know whether to give it up or give it another try. Frustrated. Shy. If someone says hello to me, I suddenly feel so shy. Instead of waving back at them, I hide my face and I walk on by. Shy. Bored. I can't make up my mind. There's nothing I want to do. The day drags on and on. I'm feeling bored and blue. Bored. Excited. I'm bouncing like a rubber ball. I'm more excited than I can say. It's really hard for me to sit when I'd rather jump and play. Excited. Jealous. I want to play with you right now. I don't think taking turns is fair. I'd rather have you to myself. I'm jealous when I have to share. Jealous. Proud. I did it, I did it. I shout to the crowd. Getting dressed by myself makes me feel proud. Proud. Feelings come and feelings go. I never know what they'll be. Silly or angry, happy or sad. They're all a part of me.
That was wonderful. I just love your voice. You have such character in your voice.
Thank you.
And you have another story you're going to start reading with us.
Yes, it's right here.
And boys and girls at home, see if you can find the different adventures that Harold goes through with his purple crayon. In fact, that's all there is a purple crayon.
That's all that they have together.
Yeah.
And he manages his life with it.
Yes.
This is how he does the story with his purple crayon.
Uh-huh.
One evening, after thinking it over for some time, Harold decided to go for a walk in the moonlight. There wasn't any moon, and Harold needed a moon for a walk in the moonlight, and he needed something to walk on. He made a long, straight path so he wouldn't get lost, and he set off on his walk, taking his big purple crayon with him. But he didn't seem to be getting anywhere on the long, straight path, so he left the path for a shortcut across a field, and the moon went with him. The shortcut led right to where Harold thought a forest ought to be. He didn't want to get lost in the woods, so he made a very small forest with just one tree in it. It turned out to be an apple tree, and the apples were very tasty, Harold thought, when they got red. So he put a frightening dragon under the tree to guard the apples. It was a terribly frightening dragon. It even frightened Harold, and he backed away. His hand holding the purple crayon shook. And suddenly, he realized what was happening. By then, Harold was over his head in an ocean. He came up thinking fast, and in no time he was climbing aboard a trim little boat. And he quickly set sail, and the moon sailed along with him. After he had sailed long enough, Harold made land without much trouble. He stepped ashore on the beach, wondering where he was. The sandy beach reminded Harold of picnics, and the thought of picnics made him hungry. So he laid out a nice, simple picnic lunch. There was nothing but pie, but there were all 9 kinds of pie that Harold liked the best. And when Harold finished this picnic, there was quite a lot left, and he hated to see so much delicious pie go to waste. So Harold left a very hungry moose and a deserving porcupine to finish it up, and off he went, looking for a hill to climb to see where he was. Harold knew that the higher up he went, the farther he could see, so he decided to make a hill into a mountain. And if he went high enough, he thought he could see the window of his bedroom. He was tired, and he felt he ought to be getting to bed. He hoped he could see his bedroom window from the top of the mountain. But as he looked down over the other side, he slipped, and there wasn't any other side of the mountain. He was falling in thin air. But luckily, he kept his wits and his purple crayon. He made a balloon, and he grabbed onto it. And he made a basket under the balloon, big enough to stand in. Oh, he had a fine view from the balloon, but he couldn't see his window. He couldn't even see a house. So he made a house with windows, and he landed the balloon on the grass in the front yard. None of the windows was his window, and he tried to think where his window ought to be. He made some more windows. He made a big building full of windows. He made lots of buildings full of windows. He made a whole city full of windows. But none of the windows was his window. He couldn't think where it might be. He decided to ask a policeman. The policeman pointed the way Harold was, pointed the way Harold was going anyway, but Harold thanked him. And he walked along with the moon, wishing he was in his room and in bed. And then, suddenly, Harold remembered. He remembered where his bedroom window was. When there was a moon, it was always right around the moon. And then Harold made his bed. He got in it, and he drew up the covers. The purple crayon dropped on the floor, and Harold dropped off to sleep.
Wow. I love that story. What an
Nice
imagination.
story, isn't it?
Yes, and I bet you the boys and girls at home, you've done those things too. Well, there's some ideas that, please stay and enjoy some of the crafts that we're going to be talking about, these might be some ideas of things that you would like to be able to do at home, to use your imagination or pretending skills, and you might be able to act them out too. Well, we have got many different things. Some things that you can do is go through magazines and find pictures, and if you would like to find pictures, and then we have just some straw on the back, and you can tape the straw to the picture. Here's one of a little boy who has caught a fish. Oh, I would love to pretend to do that. I just did that last weekend and I didn't catch any, so I had to pretend. Here's a little picture of Willy, or a puppy like Willy, when he was young, so you could pretend to do that. Here's a boy. He looks like he's got a cape. He's getting ready to go swimming. And a girl. Here's one, too, of a cat sleeping. So what you could do is have a little puppet show, and you could make a puppet show. One person, you could do this by yourself, or maybe if you have a brother or a sister or someone who would like to play with you, a mom or dad. There's also, you could have little finger puppets, and you can play little finger puppets. And what you would do is have a stage, and you could go behind the stage so nobody could see you, but your fingers could come up here and do the talking. And you could have your own little finger puppet, and you can invent the words as you go along. I used to do that all the time. And we've got lots of, you can go to many different stores that have these finger puppets. And you can have many finger puppets. Another one that you could do for puppets is paper bags. You just get a regular paper bag, and when you put your hand inside this paper bag, the back flap becomes the mouth. And you can open up the mouth like that. But the creative part is to put projects, faces. So here's a girl's face, and you can color and put lips on the bottom and the top. So when you talk, it actually looks like they're talking. And there's one of a cat. You can make one of a dog. And all it is that's where the lips go. You put the lips right there, and then you can add the eyes and all the other colors that you would like to. Another one that I think is kind of neat is when many boys and girls at home might like to be a waitress or a waiter, and they can put something around. And then with a pen or a pencil and a pad, you can go around to your family and ask what they would like. Now on here, we already have items that you might be giving your family. Here's one with donuts and coffee. And another with an avocado. Oh, I love avocados. Here's, you know what that is?
Sweet potato.
Yes, a baked potato, or
yes.
Lots of vegetables.
Oh boy, that's what is that?
Waffles.
Waffle.
Yes. And
pancakes.
And
Fried egg.
Bacon and eggs.
Oh, bacon
and then we also, on larger, you can draw these or find pictures. There's a hot dog. It looks like beans and a sandwich. And potatoes, meat. So of all of those things, I could go to family members and say, what would you like for breakfast?
All of those. I'm getting awfully hungry.
Yes. Is there something that you would like in particular from, because I'm the waitress, I'm asking you what
I'd
you
like
would
a banana.
A banana.
And an apple.
Oh, but I don't have a banana.
Oh, you mean
and
I
an
have to order
apple.
from this?
Yes, you
Well,
have
then
to
I'll
order from what I
I
have.
have a fried egg and bacon and some pancakes.
Okay, so I can write down fried egg, bacon, and pancakes.
Over easy, the egg,
Over
please.
easy. Okay, over easy. Coming right up, sir. I can put these in my pocket, and then I can fried egg and pancakes. I can come over and say, there you go.
My thank you.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. So you can be a waitress and pretend to be a waitress. Some other things that I enjoy doing is animal crackers. Oh, I used to love pretending with animal crackers. And because they have so many things in here. And I used to pretend these with my friends too. We'd each have one, and we would always make a sound of what we had. So would you like to try an animal? Let's see what sound you have. Oh my goodness. I've got two, and I'm not quite sure what the sound is.
I've got a camel.
What sound does a camel make?
They spit. I don't think
They spit. And I have a giraffe.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure what a giraffe would make either.
Like that maybe.
Sounds good. And a buffalo.
Oh, you lucky you.
Try
You've got
one
the best.
more.
Oh, this looks like a hippopotamus. Oh no,
Well-
maybe it's just a big bear.
What's a bear say?
Oh, they say "Rawr."
Yes. So you can use those to even invent. You can also be a mail carrier. Oh, lots and lots of ideas. And you can go around and deliver mail to everybody that you know. Willy. Willy's got some mail. And we've got some mail for you.
Oh,
And
oh,
all I
thank you.
have done is find pieces of mail that are maybe just extra mail that your parents might get. So, boys and girls, there's lots of things you can do. Now, don't forget, we have a special event here in Nevada City on July 20th at Pioneer Park, and it's called the Children's Festival. And you can go there and make all kinds of hats and be kings and queens and knights and use your imagination and pretend. And boys and girls, don't forget, listen to lots of stories, do your job, and have fun playing. And thank you so much for coming and visiting with us.
I'm delighted. Thank you
Yes.
for having me.
Bye-bye, boys and girls. See you next time.